Everyone has a crazy ex story. But this isn't that story. This is a story about coming to the realization that maybe I'm the crazy ex. Now, according to my last therapist, I'm probably somewhere on the autism spectrum, although obviously very high functioning. But he really went to pursue a diagnosis with Asperger's. And I'm really glad that I denied him that opportunity now that that's not even really actually a thing unless you're a Fox News consultant looking for a scapegoat to explain mass shootings. But the more I read and researched the idea, the more it became a major revelation. Because all these things and aspects of my childhood and life had finally started to make sense, and that's something that people with Asperger's are supposedly obsessed with, is things making sense. And so I've always had an unhealthy obsession with movies because movies make sense. They work on a narrative with a plot, and within that plot you have characters who have motivations that are set on the parameters of that plot. But the problem is that when you try to live your life like a movie, you know, all of your favorite moments from your favorite romantic movies, they might seem magical on the screen, but in reality, it's a really good way to get a restraining order placed against you. So I had met my most recent ex, where everyone meets their future exes, on Tinder. And being the crazy autistic movie guy, I know I gave her the best summer fling of her life, but the problem was that she never told me that's all it was. But we dated for a few months, and we had dates where we danced alone on Ray Street Pier before sneaking into a prominent old city art gallery, fucking on designer vintage furniture before hanging out in a private alleyway naked on Eames chairs, chain-smoking cigarettes and listening to Otis Redding. She was incredible. She was a nurse who travels the world for Habitat for Humanity, and her joy and smile was infectious. It was the first time I met someone online who wasn't an alcoholic on antipsychotic meds, having been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. But at the end of August, she finally confessed that she was only in the city for the summer and she was leaving in a week. So I told her my feelings, and I told her that I wanted to wait, that isn't this great? Isn't this something worth fighting for? And she looked at me, and in her Minnesota accent, she says, "Oh, geez. Oh, no. Oh, my God, no. I could never be serious with a guy like you. Like, I'm traveling, and I'm not myself when I'm traveling. I get to date men I wouldn't date anywhere else. Oh my God." So in nicer words, she was pretty much saying, "You're a fucking clown. And I just had a great time in your little clown car, but it's time for me to get out. I mean, you're the guy who makes blacklight porn and wears pink suits." But I went through all her texts and emails, reading these messages about how magical every night was and how wet she was thinking about me. And so I'm convinced this is that moment in the film. She's pushing me away to protect me from herself. And this is that moment where I had to chase her down at the train before the credits roll. And I'll tell you, in reality, when a woman outright rejects you, the last thing she wants is for you to chase after her. But I had made these paintings of her, and so I was going to bring them to her on the night before she leaves the city. And her favorite movie was Say Anything. So I was going to bring a boombox and play the music for her. And I had told my friends this plan, and they all said the same thing. "Oh, Jesus Christ, Greg, you're fucking crazy. Don't fucking do this. And if you do, please set the money aside for when I get the phone call to bail your ass out of jail." So I went to the house where she was staying, and the windows were open, and there was music and voices, and I could tell she was having this big going away party. So I started to get nervous about my plan, and I'm kind of pacing back and forth outside, and I know this doesn't sound creepy at all. But I decide, you know what, her friends like me, so they're going to agree that I'm awesome and this is romantic. But the party's really loud, so I text her. And then I take the boombox, and I put it up my head, and I play Cigarettes and Coffee, and I wait. And I wait, and I wait. And I think the party's too loud. So I call her, and I can hear the phone ringing in the window. And I can hear her saying, "Oh shit, Greg is calling, what do I do?" And I hear someone else respond, "Just ignore him." And so, yeah, I'm starting to feel a little embarrassed now, because I'm still sitting there with this boombox. And then I see her two friends walking towards me, toward the house, and the lights go off in the house, the music shuts off and everyone goes quiet. And these friends walking towards me, they're looking like they've just spotted a fat man masturbating in a car with a slice of cheese. And so I leave the paintings scared that maybe they're calling the cops and I need to get out of there. And I walk away and I go home and of course I get plastered and I realize that I'm now her crazy ex story. I am now the guy that the geek show story that she's going to tell future Tinder dates over beers and, laughs. And I can't help but wonder if maybe right now in her hometown, she's at a first-person story slam telling you the same tale that I just told. Thank you.